Hey everybody, so today we are taking a look at the Toy House Factory Sonic Wave crystal version. This is their take on a Masterpiece Soundwave, which just happens to be the clear crystal version. So this is a recent release. I wanted to throw this video up real quick just in case anybody else was looking at this. I myself, this is a good reminder as to why my debit card should be disabled after 11 o'clock at night, because I tend to make random purchases like this at that time. So anyways, we'll go through the figure. Hopefully that'll give you some ideas if this is something for you, and see if you like it. And there he is, all front and center, ready to go. So the one thing that I do notice about this figure right off the bat, obviously it's crystal clear, but he is definitely light. So there is some lack of heft to him, which is pretty common for crystal figures. I mean, they have to rip out all the die cast. Any kind of heavy plastics, all that good stuff is removed for these types of figures. But this guy in particular does feel very... it's not really brittle, but definitely on the more fragile side. So I think actually the only pieces of die-cast that are still left in him are his feet. Those are still painted silver, like the regular MPs, Soundwaves, and various KO versions of them. But yeah, that's one thing that I definitely noticed as far as just the lack of weight this guy has. Also, too, his hand's backwards. But a lot of the clear plastics they use, generally, like when I have other clear figures, it's definitely more of a, I almost want to say like a frosted plastic. This one is definitely see-through. So, like, we'll try to zoom in here later on, but this forearm here, this is definitely see-through. I'm using an Amazon Basic light box, which is probably not the best to be reviewing this, especially since it's all white. But, yeah, let me just... I mean, you can totally see every detail in my finger right through this guy. So it'd be kind of cool to have like a little fish in there or something. But it is definitely see-through plastic. It's not frosted at all. The blues itself are also that kind of non-frosted type plastic. So the coloring on the blue is actually a lot lighter than what you would find on the Masterpiece Soundwave. So I almost want to say... it's almost like a more tune-accurate blue, oddly enough, if everybody can see that. But, yeah, there's some different... definitely some different shades of blue in here than what you would have found in the regular Toy House Factory version, or even the Masterpiece Soundwave. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. There's still some paint apps on the figure itself as well. So they still have... the eyes are red. You can actually see the red plate where the eyes sit on behind that. And then also, too, the red paint apps for the sound emitter, I want to say. But all this stuff is really good. The shoulder paint here is done fairly well for what the figure is. Red highlights on the arms and stuff here. There's some yellows in there as well. So this is actually fairly clean. I've seen a lot worse as far as KOs go. I've seen a lot of reviews too about that, but yeah, it's painted fairly well. The faceplate is also painted silver there, so that's that. And then getting a little closer to this guy, doing the shaky cam thing here, but yeah, here's some more of the details close up. So you can see inside of them pretty much. If I do this. The back plate there, I don't know if you can all see that, but that's actually one of the only solid pieces in there. So right where the tapes would rest against, that's actually solid, but the rest of that is all clear on the inside there. And again, here's the forearm. There's a little finger test, so that's pretty clear there. Details like the play and then fast forward and rewind and all that good stuff, that's there. But it's definitely not painted or highlighted at all. So there are some subtle details, but again, it's all gets kind of lost in that clear plastic, which is fine. That's what this figure is supposed to be. Moving down to the legs again, die-cast feet, and then again the clear legs. You can see again my fingers right through them. This shin area is probably one of the only areas where it's a little foggy, a little frosted, but I mean, it's still, again, very, very clear as far as the types of plastic they used. And then, of course, here's his gun. The gun is fun to transform, especially when it's clear, because you got to find that little tab. So it was kind of interesting to do that. That was a challenge, but his gun as well is completely clear. So there's that. And we will spin him around. He does have some paint detailings on the back here, little silver areas. All this stuff is clear here. You can see some of the joints, which is always kind of a cool thing with the clear versions of characters. You can see the engineering behind them and all that good stuff. But yeah, pretty clear back there. All right, and there he is, all transformed up and ready to go. So I did do this off camera. It was a sketchy transformation, I'm not going to lie to you. So a lot of the leg joints are extremely tight, very squeaky. I thought some of them were going to pop. Also, too, there are a few tabs that tab into the back, like when you bring the legs up and wrap them around. Those tabs themselves were extremely fragile and sensitive. So I wasn't sure if I was just going to blow, $50, $60 or whatever it was for this thing right on camera. So be careful when transforming. You do see he does come with the tapes. This is going to be Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. They do have official KO names, but I can't think of them at the top of my head right now. They were in the beginning. But anyways, despite the scary transformation, he does look pretty good. The tapes, they're a smoky type of clear plastic. He himself, the top here looks pretty good. Some of these tabs didn't tab in as well as I wanted to, but overall the look and the clear plastic works. You can see a lot of the engineering through the piece of the figure here. So yeah, here's just kind of a quick look. There's some of the inputs on the side here. Tape deck, eject button, all that good stuff is there. The play and functionality of the tapes here, that all works. You'll notice again clear plastic here, but it's smoky. The red on this particular Laserbeak is actually pretty good. Can't really complain too much about it. It is interesting that they used more of a smoky clear plastic for both these. Kind of emulates the black of both of those figures. But yeah, there's Buzzsaw. Flip him around, there's his head. And then the tapes themselves, they do fit quite nicely into the tape deck itself. So they just slide right in, pop the front, and you're good to go. So there's that. And the one thing else I also noticed during this transformation was there are actually some missing paint apps that you would find on the MP figures. So like this recording button here, that's usually painted on. Other things like the play and the fast forward, and also to the right and the left channel buttons there, they're actually more of a raised up plastic. They're not actually painted on or anything like that. So again, same thing with the record button, not there. The fast forward and play buttons are not painted on. It's all kind of just raised up embossed plastic. So I think embossed is the right word. Not really sure. But anyways, there's nothing to really bring those details out. And again, that's kind of how he cleans up in the back. There are some issues with these tabs here. Like I said, be very, very careful with these. That's where I probably had the most issues with the transformation. And then real quick, while I have this guy transform, just want to take a look at Laserbeak. So again, they got the smoky gray, blackish, see-through, crystal clear plastic, however you want to describe it, but it's a pretty good representation of Laserbeak. So the red paint is done pretty well. Let me just get in here real quick. Yeah, so there's the red paint. The eyes are painted. Yeah, there's the eyes. The beak itself is black. It's probably the only thing that's a solid color on this thing next to the eyes and the paint apps. But yeah, this is what Laserbeak looks like. So pretty cool. I actually kind of like the smoky black plastic. And then quick comparison. This is him next to a Yes model, another knockoff. But a Yes Metal Clear Seeker. So as you can tell, the Seeker itself is a little bit more frosted looking. It's got that frosted kind of purple look to it. Soundwave here instead has, a lot more of the clear, like I was mentioning before, the really see-through plastic. Definitely has more paint apps than this guy on the left-hand side here, but yeah, this is just a comparison to another crystal clear figure that I have. So. And then here he is next to Masterpiece Soundwave. So this is actually the legit copy of Masterpiece Soundwave. Long story with that one, but this is how he looks compared to that. So, like I was saying earlier, the blues are a lot different. The Masterpiece is more of a navy blue. This is definitely a lighter shade of blue on the crystal clear version. Obviously because it's clear, but at the same time, definitely a different kind of color scheme. I would almost say more tune accurate. Laser beaks, same difference here. Whereas one is the solid black, then they use the gray smoky plastic there. The shin areas, like I said, those are all silver. Basically anything that's silver on Soundwave is transparent on the clear version. So. And that's pretty much the figure in a nutshell. So that was the Toy House Factory Sonic Wave clear version. So I'm hesitant to recommend it, to be honest with you, because of the transformation. Like, that transformation was scary. I really did think I was going to pop something off. Just the way it was squeaking and then the way things weren't tapping in. It was dangerous, I would say. So the one caveat to that is that I do like Soundwave a lot. He is one of my favorite characters. It is something different, so if you're looking for something like novelty and something just kind of interesting and different, then I do recommend it. Again, this is not a crazy price point. I believe it's around $50 to $60. Again, this is a KO, so you're not paying like Masterpiece prices on this thing. If this thing was over $100, I would be mad. I would be regretful and kind of bummed that I bought it. So right now I'm kind of in that meh stage because it's like I don't really have a spot for this on my shelf. It is kind of cool. It is kind of novelty, but at the same time, like, I could probably have gone without this. This is like a regretful night drinking or something, like something like that. So anyways, hopefully this helped you guys make a decision. Again, there are some cool features, like the crystal clear plastic is actually super clear, right? So if you like that kind of stuff, that's cool. Yeah. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. Hope this helps, and hopefully see you around. Take care.